Cassandra. Oh, we have more to talk about.
Planning troop movements now.
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
Well, we can try to make it better.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
I mean...
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
Oh, she's not... I make it up as I go. You admire me?
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
I mean, that's kind of how it goes.
I'm not that assured. I just make it up as I go.
Let all your followers take heart.
What can I say? It's worked so far.
Think of it. Like Andraste long ago, once again the fate of Thedas will be determined by a woman. It makes me proud to know you.
I hope we can call each other friends.
I hope so too. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I am glad you're here.
Okay, I keep talking to Cassandra because I think her approval's up enough.
What do you need, my friend?
That is an important question, actually.
I want to talk to you about the cure for tranquility.
It's not a cure. Not truly. Mages who were once tranquil lose all control over their emotions. They become irrational, unable to focus. Perhaps that state eventually passes and they can be helped, but it will take time to investigate.
But you will investigate.
But you are going to look into it.
That is my intent. I would not want news of a cure to spread until we know for certain we can help these people. Once we have that, however, then I will spread the word myself.
So, that book you were reading?
Yes, what of it?
So under that taciturn shell beats a true romantic heart.
Why must it be an accusation?
It's not.
Romance is not the sole province of dithering ladies in frilly dresses. It is passion. It is being swept away by the pursuit of an ideal. What is not to like about that?
I wasn't... I don't know why I'm getting flirt options with her. She doesn't... I don't understand. I was not... Nothing is...
It's just a little... unexpected.
I don't need anyone picturing me mooning over stolen kisses.
Is that what you're doing? Mooning?
I will never hear the end of this, will I?
You will. We can have book club, Cassandra.
Is there anything you need?
You and Anon can have book club.
I have some more questions.
As you wish.
I was hoping she could tell me about Anthony.
Tell me about your brother.
Anthony was older than I, a dragon hunter, who showed what a Pentagast could truly be. I idolized him. I wanted to hunt dragons as he did, even though our uncle forbade it. Anthony promised to train me in secret. We would hunt together one day, brother and sister, vanquishing the beasts of old. And then he died on me.
How did he die?
What happened?
A group of apostates wanted dragon blood, and wanted Anthony to get it for them. He refused, and they killed him for it. In front of me. I begged the Chantry to let me become a Templar. Instead, they sent me to the Seekers. It took many years to let go of my drive for vengeance.
You blamed all mages?
So you blamed all mages for the actions of a few apostates?
I was young. Magic was frightening. It all seemed pointless. I sometimes wonder how different my life would be if Anthony was still alive. Would I be a dragon hunter? Married to some noble fool, a mother of 3? I cannot say. I take solace in believing the Maker has a plan, but he is not always kind.
I'll let you get back to work.
Okay. I don't think... Let me try one more time.
What do you need, my friend?
I'm just checking.
Do you have any advice for me?
We must root out the Red Templars. They form the bulk of Corypheus's forces.
Okay.
Has there been an exchange?
You're awful.
Not that. Gifts. Or perhaps betrothals.
Of a sort. Very romantic.
Ah, vicariously satisfied.
I swear these guys gossip about the Inquisitors' relationships.
A pleasure.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Well, I guess that's good to know.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Lord Nadovino of Antiva, a friend of my family not normally given to politics.
Oh,
How did you get him to support the Inquisition?
Antivan are touched by worthy deeds, Inquisitor. I impressed him with the rightness of our cause. I also promised him 40 bottles from our wine cellar. He's had his eye on the Tevinter ports for years.
okay. I think everybody's still busy at the war table. I said we were gonna do Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts. We've got still a lot of ground to cover. We had crossing the sulfur pits, investigate the shards. Okay, so we did that, but we didn't do crossing the sulfur pits, find the source of the darkspawn, and stop Venatori activity. Commander, we have completed initial estimates on the construction of an elevated bridge over the toxic sulfur pits in the western approach. The work will require 10 of our engineers and 6 wagon loads of lumber, but the finished construction will allow troops to move through the region at a safe distance from the poisonous gas. So we can either send forces. On your order, we can build a path. Our soldiers will personally see to its construction. Or connections, a few words to the Count of Valfermin, and we can have a bridge built. So who we send here really doesn't matter, but what it does influence is what is said during the epilogue after the game is finished. So if you send out your forces and your secrets and your connections equally, your epilogue will say that all of these systems are feared within the Inquisition. And if you rely on one over the others, then it'll just say one of them is. It doesn't really matter. It's just flavor text. Let's do it this way. Inquisitor. The Comte de Famine was only too happy to loan his workmen and materials to our project, eventually. The bridge is ready for inspection at your earliest convenience, Josephine. So we don't want to go there. But we can now get across that part that everybody was coughing, trying to cross. Commander Cullen. We have scattered reports of darkspawn in the area, but it has been difficult to track down their point of origin. They're less hampered by the sulfur pits than we are, and our guess is that they are coming from somewhere on the far side. Our troops can bridge the pits, which should allow us to cross safely and find the location of the darkspawn, but we will need significant resources to ensure the safety of the men while construction is underway. So the only option we have here is Cullen. Building a bridge in that blasted area will be ugly work, but I can deploy enough troops to ensure it's done safely. Commander Cullen, thanks to the reinforcements you sent, we constructed the bridge safely with minimal losses and fortified it in the event that Darkspawn tried to use it themselves. The Darkspawn are coming from ruins that appear to be to Vinter. Per your orders, I'm restricting the troops to scouting and guard patrols until the ruins can be investigated. Lieutenant Tamsman. Again, we don't want to go now, but we have that cleared out. Stop Venatori activity in the west. This is a new location that we haven't been to, so I don't want to mess with that. Let's see, what else on this map? We need to clear out Gillenon's Grove, so let's do that. Initial inspection. Elven ruins. Ancient. Largely structured unsound. Mortar damp and crumbling. Recent damage to load-bearing walls. Claw marks. Task. Clear loose rubble and reinforce collapsed passageway for safety. Requirements. 10 strong workers, 2 junior engineers, 2 guards for security, 3 wagon loads of squared oak beam, 170 kegs of brown ale. All right. The passageway is clear and safe. Access to the grove restored. 170 kegs of ale, not nearly enough for 15 hardworking Inquisition men and women. Chief Engineer. We're not going forward. So that'll be clear for us now. Oh yes, repair point arg. So all of this stuff is costing us power, which you'll see in the lower right corner. We have a lot of it built up at this point. Citadel du Corbu, where Celine's forces are stationed, was cut off from the rest of the Dales when Point Argar was destroyed in the Civil War. Owing to the rocky terrain around the Citadel, it has no other access points. Forces within could well have been stranded for weeks. I'll send our best soldiers as soon as you give word. So Cullen's clearing that. Point Agar has been repaired and the Citadel is once more accessible by road. Oddly enough, we've seen no sign of activity from the army, something to investigate further perhaps. Again, we are not venturing forth. We did that. No, we didn't. The elven glyphs discovered in the Dales might prove valuable. Cursory inspections suggest they predate the ruins in which they were found, possibly transferred onto the stone from a much older edifice that dates back to the original Elven nation or even earlier. So the only one we can do is connections. One of our mages, a Dalish elf named Cillian, believes he may be able to translate the glyphs, provided we grant him the needed contacts. It required some gifts to several Dalish clans traveling along the Waking Seacoast, but Cillian was able to get the text he needed to translate the glyphs. He claims they are a kind of map, showing the location to an ancient temple dedicated to Dirthamin, the elven god of secrets. He has provided us the location, but it should be noted we're not the first to investigate these glyphs. A group of treasure hunters evidently mentioned them several years ago, although they've not been heard from since. So we now have a new area unlocked. I don't want to do that right now. So we've got 3 locations left. Reports indicate that Red Templars have taken over an old dwarven port on the Storm Coast, granting them a foothold in Ferelden as well as easy access to the Waking Sea. The report itself provides a strong defense from outside attack. A full assault by our soldiers might eventually yield results, but not without high casualties. A smaller group may have better luck infiltrating their stronghold. So, forces is probably what's used by default a lot. So I try to, anytime I'm given the option to not use forces, I tend to go for it to try and get that even usage that we're looking for. We do not want to draw attention too soon. My agents will find a way to enter the stronghold without alerting the Red Templars. Our agents have acquired access to the Red Templars' foothold on the Storm Coast. The Templars feel themselves secure. It's time to prove them wrong. Liliana. Okay, I don't want to head out just yet. I think we can go ahead and do this. An assassin is still stalking the Empress. Celine's death would plunge Orlais into chaos, leaving it an easy target for Corypheus. At the Winter Palace of Halamsharal, Celine is holding peace talks with her rebellious cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard, under the guise of a grand ball. Every noble in the Empire will attend, making it the perfect place and time for Corypheus' assassin to strike. We can arrange an invitation to attend to keep him from destroying Orlais if we hurry. Select.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Alright, tell me about Gaspard.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Gaspard has Chevaliers?
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Okay. What about Briala?
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halamsharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Celine had an elven lover?
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Liliana is apparently very into this. Tell me about Celine.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
I don't understand this question, but okay.
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
Okay. Why not just send a warning?
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
All right.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
Power cost is 30. Power is really the only thing that you need to worry about having enough of, rather than influence. And this is the same thing we read. I'm taking with me Sarah. And I am taking with me Solas and Iron Bull.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
It is a great pleasure to meet you, Inquisitor Lavellan. Bringing the rebel mages into the ranks of your army was a brilliant move. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Which emperor is that?
And which one was the rightful one again? I keep getting them confused.
The handsome, charming one, of course, my lady. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
I'm not here for a party.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose, Gaspard. Finding him is my priority.
Are you serious? That is a grave allegation, my friend. A foreign power meddling now, of all times? I have no doubt this Tevinter is hiding within the ranks of the Elven delegation. They're up to something. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That's worth investigating.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An elf savage! Oh, Maker forbid!
This is Gaspard's idea of a joke.
So we this quest relies on court approval. So right now we have 30 out of 100. If you are Qunari, you get, I think I got -10. If you're Qunari, I think you get -15 or 20. It's the worst approval you could possibly get. If you ever drop to 0, you get thrown out of the ball. Also, I hate that we don't have ball gowns. Everybody hates that we don't have ball gowns. I want a ball gown, damn it. Let's talk to you.
You there! Rabbit! Have you seen a ring anywhere? It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
Is it valuable?
Is this ring particularly valuable?
Its worth in coin is not as important as its social value. It was a gift from a member of the Council of Heralds. If she finds out I lost it, she will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
Okay.
What's your game? Are you trying to convince the Countess that you treasure her gift? Or just gain importance by getting the Inquisitor to run a menial errand for you?
Court approval +5.
I assure you, the ring truly is lost. And I must find it or risk terrible repercussions. Should you happen upon it, I beg you,
I know where.
let me know.
I know where it is. You can stop whining. Here.
Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my
It's
ring?
sitting over there by the fountain. You can keep it. You can keep it. I found your stupid ring.
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure. I cannot believe you found it. You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
Oh, this is how the whole night's gonna go, isn't it? I don't think there's anything else down in this area. Excuse me, sorry. I'm just gonna double check, but pretty sure. Oh, there's plaque. The Winter Palace. The Varshel Fountain. Imperial Judicial. I commissioned this massive fountain to commemorate House Valmont's historic victory against Xavier Draken. The 4 lions represent Emperor Alphonse Valmont and his 3 younger brothers, Duke Isidore. I'm not reading all those names. Who took the field against the usurper? Okay. We got some factual knowledge.
Is that the Inquisitor?
Yes.
A Dalish? No, that cannot be.
Uh-huh. Alright, so there is stuff around here.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
She should. She absolutely should. Let's go up here. Even gilded walls have ears?
Do you mind? We don't wish to be disturbed.
Okay. Storage key. Need that. What? Oh,
Interesting.
eavesdrop.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
So there's various spots in here where you can eavesdrop on people. I'm sorry, excuse me. And get information. I think this door is open. Yes. Take scandalous bribe. So there are 30 secrets that we can deliver to Lavellan. I have never been able to fulfill that quest, so I don't know what to do with that. But there's pieces of information that we can get and give to Lavellan.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
I guess it makes sense for the Inquisition to appear in uniform, but I don't know. Seems somewhat scandalous. Hala statue. To not superstitions of the royal family. To not show up to the ball in a ball gown. The Valmont family has its quirks. Every family does, but the Valmonts lean particularly toward the occult. Emperor Reveal the Mad believed in ghosts. He was certain that his mother continued to advise him after her death, and that the angry shade of his twin brother sought his downfall. He employed the services of soothsayers to convey messages from beyond the grave and to stave off his slain brother's wrath. His son, Emperor Judica I, had a fascination for all things ancient and arcane. It is said that his desire to reconstruct the Palace of Halamsharal after an elven uprising destroyed it was done more to his interest in the site itself than in politics or the game. They say he chose to spend the winter months at his family retreat because he believed the palace located at a nexus of elven magic, that spending time there would grant him longer life, as with the fabled immortal elves. In the end, the palace did not prevent his death due to heart failure. His youngest son, Prince Reynald, had a similar interest in elves in the Dales. He collected carvings of Hala, the Dalish beasts of burden sacred to one of their false gods. The statuettes, all the work of Dalish artisans during the long walk, were kept in his room in the Winter Palace. When his daughter ascended to the throne, she had them repurposed as keys, but why and for what? No one can know. We're going to use these. We're going to collect these and use them as keys. Elysian Caprice coins. Victory in the grand game is not merely determined by what one has at one's command, one's connections, and one's machinations, but what one is willing to give up. The clearest example is the Caprice. Each coin is traditionally a gift. They were once tokens of regard, favors for chevaliers from their lovers or patrons. Throwing them into a fountain was rooted in superstition. The token was offered as a sacrifice, a bribe to Andraste to keep the chevalier safe on the battlefield. The more one had to offer to the waters, the better one's chances of escaping the caprices of fate, hence the name. Over time, the superstitious aspects of the custom faded. Now the caprice is a mark of status. The more coins one has, the more public the spectacle of throwing them away, the stronger one's position in the game. After the glorious reclamation of the Dales, the elven capital lay empty and in ruins for years, a haven for bandits and highwaymen and all manner of miscreants. The land lay unused until the Exalted Age, when Alphonse Valmont, the very lion himself, declared that a palace should be built there in honor of the valiant actions of his brothers, investing the armies of false Emperor Xavier Draken, originally called Chateau Lion. It was designed as a grand retreat for the Emperor's brother and their families. The city of Halam-Sharal grew around the palace. The first records of its existence appear in the Storm Age, when Emperor Cyril granted the title of Marquis to Sir Reginald Montclair for administration of Halam-Sharal. An elven uprising destroyed the Chateau Lion or Leon in the Blessed Age. When Emperor Judical I rebuilt it, he named the new retreat the Winter Palace. It was designed more for the Emperor and his immediate family than for any cadet branches of House Valmont, and became the heart of the imperial court in the darkest months of winter. Lady Mantillion, I can offer no apology for my nephew's behavior the other night. Gaspard has never betrayed any interest in following my advice. In truth, everything he said to you at our dinner party, he has also said to me. His resentment at being deprived of the throne has festered for some time, and he was never one to accept defeat gracefully. I would take Gaspard's threat of war seriously. I do not believe my nephew knows how to resolve problems through the use of anything but steel. If his record on the battlefield is any indication, he's quite adept at doing so. I shall be increasing my personal guard directly. Sincerely, Duke Gratien.
Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
We might get some on Celine and Briella later, maybe? Unlock the eastern storage room. That's pretty interesting. Pick this up. I maybe should have saved before coming in here. I think there's less keys than there are doors. And there weren't any secrets in this room, which means I probably won't complete that quest now. We'll find out.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
I know. We know.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
You sound like a fun bunch.
Don't they sound delightful? I'm shocked we haven't invited the court to dinner at Skyhold.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
Can you warn the others as well?
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Especially Sarah. Maybe tell her twice.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. And Raste watch over us all.